You walk into a room and people barely acknowledge you. You speak and they talk over you. You give and they take without gratitude. Most people think respect is earned through kindness, hard work, or being agreeable. But Schopenhauer discovered something far darker. Respect is never given to those who need it most. The reason you're not respected has nothing to do with what you lack, and everything to do with what you've been trained to tolerate. Arthur Schopenhauer, 19th century German philosopher, absolute misanthrope, and the man who refused to play by society's rules. While Kant was writing about morality and Hegel was praising the collective, Schopenhauer was in his apartment with his poodle, writing essays that basically said, most people are idiots, and if you try to please them, you become one too. He wasn't respected during his lifetime. His lectures? Empty. His books? Ignored for decades. But he didn't care, because he understood something most people never will. Respect is not a reward for good behavior. It's a consequence of boundaries. And if you don't have boundaries, you don't have respect. You have exploitation disguised as friendship. Schopenhauer wrote, "A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom." Translation: if you're always available, you're never valued. Think about it. The friend who always says yes, the coworker who always picks up extra work, the person who always answers immediately, they're not respected, they're used. Because people don't value what's abundant, they value what's scarce. The moment you become scarce, the moment you start saying no without explanation, watch how fast people's tone changes. Schopenhauer believed most people are driven by one thing, the will to dominate, not through violence, through subtle social manipulation. Someone insults you as a joke. You laugh it off. Someone cancels on you last minute. You say, no problem. Someone interrupts you mid-sentence. You let it slide. Every time you tolerate disrespect, you're training people how to treat you. Schopenhauer put it bluntly, treat a work of art like a prince. Let it speak to you first. Same applies to respect. If you're constantly initiating, constantly explaining yourself, constantly accommodating, you've already lost. Respect requires silence. It requires the willingness to let disrespect sit in the air, unresolved, until the other person feels it. Here's the brutal truth Schopenhauer understood. Most people are so insecure that they can only feel good by making you feel small. If you're trying to earn respect from someone who gossips, complains, or tears others down, you're fighting a losing battle. Because disrespect isn't personal, it's projection. Schopenhauer wrote, "We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people." The moment you stop performing for approval, you'll notice something strange. The people who didn't respect you will either start respecting you or disappear entirely. Both outcomes are a win. Let's talk about how this shows up today. Social media. You post something vulnerable. Crickets. You post something you don't care about. Suddenly everyone's in your DMs. Why? Because people respect detachment, not desperation. At work, the person who works 60 hours a week and never pushes back, overlooked for promotion. The person who sets boundaries and says, "I'll get to that next week," suddenly taken seriously. In relationships, the partner who's always available, always understanding, always flexible, taken for granted. The one who says, "I need space," or "that doesn't work for me," suddenly their time is precious. Schopenhauer saw this pattern everywhere. Respect isn't about being the best person in the room, it's about being the person who doesn't need the room. So, what do? Stop chasing respect. Start enforcing boundaries. Stop explaining yourself. Start letting silence do the work. Stop being nice. Start being neutral. Schopenhauer's entire philosophy boils down to this. The world will only respect you as much as you respect your own time, energy, and peace. If you wouldn't tolerate it from a stranger, don't tolerate it from a friend. If you wouldn't accept it in a contract, don't accept it in conversation. Respect isn't built through grand gestures, it's built through 1,000 small refusals. Schopenhauer spent most of his life alone, not because he was bitter, but because he refused to compromise his peace for people who didn't value it. And by the end, history proved him right. So here's the question. What are you still tolerating? Drop one word in the comments. The behavior, the person, the pattern you're done accepting. Just one word. Let's see it.